listening to Radio Azad, and this is your host, Aisha. It is time for a health and wellness segment. Do you want to get fit? Well, this is a wonderful opportunity because we have Dr. Basaria with us, Dr. Nilofer Basaria, who is a health and wellness coach. Today, we are going to be talking about a very serious but very important issue, and that is the connection between cancer and nutrition. How are you?
I'm doing well. Aisha, how are you?
I'm doing very well too. Just a reminder that you can follow Dr. Basaria on her Instagram handle, which is Dr. Basaria, Drbasaria. Let's cut to the chase right away, Nilofer. How much does food really impact cancer risk and recovery?
Ooh, good question. Well, I always say that food can be your powerful medicine or it can be your poison,
Wow.
right? So it's not about being perfect, but it's about making choices where the scale tips more towards your body in favor of your body,
Okay.
right? So, yes, research has shown that Aisha, almost half of cancers can be prevented
Wow.
with lifestyle changes.
Half
That's huge. Yes, one
prevented.
and two.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we fill our food, our plate with real food, not artificial food,
Processed foods.
not processed foods,
Yeah.
right? Real colorful food that is filled with, like, cruciferous vegetables, say, or your leafy greens, or polyphenols such as berries or turmeric, onion, garlic, your green tea. See, these are real foods. They are very nutritious. Your body moves towards um, a settled, a reset place, rather than being in a stressed place, more of a disease place. You have to take your body constantly to repair.
Okay.
Right? If it doesn't repair, then you move towards diseases, and cancer is a big disease where repair system is affected, right? So your food will take you towards that.
Okay.
It's big.
It is absolutely big. So you, I know, are a big proponent of gut health,
Mm-hmm.
right? So is there a connection between gut health and cancer?
Yes,
Okay.
big connection. So
Big connection.
just know that 70% of your immune system resides in your gut.
Okay.
Okay. And immune system and cancer are very, very closely related. So if your immune system is working well, you're not moving towards cancer, and 70% of your immune system resides in your gut, right? So your gut is not only for digestion, it is the command center of your body.
Wow.
Yes. So if your gut is well, you're well, right? If your gut is healthy, you will be able to, the systems are going to be right. Your immune system is going to be right? So you will be able to, your body will be able to kill some of those agents that are carcinogens, that are cancer causing. If your gut is not well, what it's fueling, what it's breeding, inflammation. And inflammation sets the stage for any disease to progress,
Right.
to start, right? So be it diabetes, be it cardiovascular condition, be it cancer. If you don't have a strong gut, if inflammation has started from there, then disease starts.
Yeah, and we've done a whole show on inflammation and the impact of inflammation on various diseases in our body.
Yes.
So, if there is such an important connection between gut health, between what we are putting in our body, what we're fueling our body with, why is it that so much of our food is filled with these pesticides and is filled with all these dyes and additives and natural flavorings and so much junk?
It's an industry, right? It has to make money. It's a business. So
At the cost of its citizens' health.
yes,
Okay.
yes, and I hope that changes in our country. But it has gone way on the other side, where literally people are consuming a lot of processed foods, right? So processed foods, they are going to start the progression of disease. Right? So food is very, very important. Your processed meats, they're really bad for you.
Hmm.
Seed oils, artificial sweeteners,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. You see that.
Yeah.
And people use it left and right.
Right.
Excessive alcohol usage
Mm-hmm.
will take you towards cancer. Sugar, right? So these are the foods that are very, like you mentioned, very much available in our society, actually very much, pushed. And people have stopped eating real food and have, um, you know,
Processed.
yeah, they have gone like total on process because it's easy,
Mm.
it's quick. Um, but the thing is that, all these things that I mentioned are taking you towards disease. So it's not about living in deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
It is more creating a new normal for yourself. Well, it favors more your body,
Okay.
right? So it's mindset,
Mm.
right? So instead of cake, if you are choosing fruits, so if you're taking that blueberry and thinking that this is nature's candy as opposed to that the other candy
Mm-hmm.
that I can consume, it's just a change of mindset, and you can consume that not feeling deprived, that, oh, I didn't have the candy, right?
Mm.
How you think about it. If you are at a fast food store even, and you are looking at a burger and you're constantly thinking that, oh my God, I cannot consume it, then you will definitely feel deprived. But if you chose the salad instead and you thought how it's going to feed my cells, how my body will thrive with it, and you consume it mindfully,
Mm-hmm.
and then tap into the after effects, like the lightness that it creates, the health it created for you, you will not feel deprived. You will
Mm.
actually feel happy
Yeah.
making some of those choices, right? So it's all about mindset.
It is. It sure is. It sure is. You mentioned seed oils. Can you highlight that a little bit?
So all kind of, a majority of plant oils,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Sunflower seed.
sunflower seed, grape seed, these are highly available and people use it.
Mm-hmm.
And other plant oils too, they're inflammatory.
Mm-hmm.
And
Canola.
canola as well,
Mm.
right? So unless something is really organic, as is, oil is deprived of nutrients. You
Mm-hmm.
strip away nutrients when you are actually in the process of making oil, right?
Okay.
So you don't need a lot of oil. What all these oils are doing is they are tipping the ratio of omega-3 and omega-6 in our body,
Right.
right? So it's not useful for us. So if you're using oil, use good quality oil. Olive oil, avocado oil is also good.
Mm.
Um, and also keep an eye on your omega-3s so that you balance it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Now, if cancer runs in your family, what lifestyle habits should you focus on? And if you can talk a little bit about lifestyle versus genetics, which one is makes more of an impact?
Yeah, very, very good question, Aisha. Um, the good news is that your genes are not your destiny. Okay. So science has shown this to us.
Mm-hmm.
Epigenetics tell us that, it showed in experiments, many, many. So now this is established. This is the entire field. Epigenetics is, your gene environment interaction in it. And there's a lot of research done that. So what it showed us was what you eat, how you move, how you think. These things turn your genes off and on,
Wow.
right? So although you have genetic predisposition to
Mm.
something
Mm-hmm.
because of your family, or family history,
Mm-hmm.
it is, you can interrupt that cycle.
Okay.
So focus on 5 important things. Okay, your gut health,
Mm-hmm.
it's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it has to be strong.
Okay.
Eating real foods,
Mm-hmm.
that's the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on eating real foods. Focus on movement. Your body is made to move.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fourth is quality of your sleep.
I
It
knew that
is
was coming.
so important. It is so, so, so important.
Mm.
And fifth is managing your stress, your emotional
Mm.
stress.
Okay.
Okay. So these are small steps,
Okay.
build onto these and just be consistent there.
Mm-hmm.
You will see, you will notice, you will feel your health in a different direction if you do this over time.
And I wrote them down, but I feel like I have ratified them.
Yes.
Your basic lifestyle changes, your gut health,
Mm-hmm.
take care of that, eating real foods, movement, quality of sleep, and managing your stress.
Mm-hmm.
If you can deal with this and sort of structure your life around these key elements, five key elements, then you can, as Dr. Basaria is saying, you can negate those effects of those genetic predispositions to a large extent and really keep a lot of disease at bay. And we don't realize it when we're young and healthy, but as we age, and you start developing problems associated with all this lifestyle that
Yes.
we have been leading, sedentary lifestyle, and all the, like you're saying, the fast food diet and the chicken nuggets and all processed foods
Mm-hmm.
that you have,
Mm-hmm.
in a carefree manner when you're a young adult. It starts really taking a toll on you, and you see it also as far as um, aging is concerned,
Absolutely.
right, on your skin and everything.
You age much faster, right? Because you're
Yeah.
not in the repair phase.
Smoking as well. You
Absolutely.
mentioned alcohol use, but also smoking is
Mm-hmm.
such a major problem. Now, is it possible to reverse or slow down cancer with these lifestyle changes, these five things that you talked about?
Well, see, lifestyle changes is one factor, right?
Mm-hmm,
If
mm-hmm,
you are in the disease process,
mm-hmm.
you will definitely have to get the treatment.
Okay.
So treatment has its role, but lifestyle is so important in not on, in the progression of disease,
Mm-hmm.
in supporting the treatment of disease. And there is research from Dr. Dean Ornish's lab, and there are others too. They have shown that if you eat whole food, plant based diet,
Hmm.
right? If you move, exercise, and if you manage your stress,
Okay.
there's so much evidence, and they have shown it. You can read those papers that they saw if the stage was really early of cancer, you could reverse it. Okay, so there's a reversal that's been seen with lifestyle changes, and of course, it helps with slowing down the progression, like I said before, helping in the treatment. So I have seen with my clients who came with cancer, and as they took care of the food, their exercise, they were sleeping well, they were managing stress, their progression slowed down.
Hmm.
And time and again, as they went and made those appointments with
Mm-hmm.
their doctors were amazed, like how they saw that the progression is not happening. So they're
Wow.
getting better,
Hmm.
right? So I've seen that with my clients. Research is out there. Yes, lifestyle changes will have a big impact
Mm-hmm.
on the initiation as well as reversal in the early stages, and then progression and treatment of the disease.
Okay. You mentioned whole foods and plant based diet. If you can elaborate on these two and also tell us about any kinds of other foods that are known to help prevent cancer.
Known to prevent cancer. Okay, yeah. So whole food plant bases, the food is in its whole form. So the way God has given it to you. So orange as opposed to orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, apple as opposed to applesauce.
Mm.
You see, so when you don't do the processing, when you keep the food whole in its full form,
Mm-hmm.
so why not orange juice? Because we strip away the fiber, right?
Okay.
So the whole form has fiber. So the food has to be whole and mostly plant based,
Mm-hmm.
because plant has all those anti-cancerous, like I talked about polyphenols.
Mm.
So as you mentioned, what are the foods that are going to prevent?
Mm-hmm.
So these polyphenols have that, they are powerhouses
Okay.
of giving you tools where your body will stop inflammation
Mm.
at its roots, right? So your berries are excellent. Your turmeric is excellent. Your garlic is excellent. Your onion is excellent. Right? Your green leafies are super. Your mushrooms. All right.
Really?
Yes. Um, there are there is research that has shown like the effect of onions and mushrooms and berries and seeds, these flax seeds
Flax
and chia
seeds.
seeds,
Yeah.
direct effect to cancer
Mm.
progression
Mm-hmm.
and cancer initiation. So go natural, go whole food, go
Whole
what
grains.
God has given us,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the junk food, the processed foods, the ready-made quick fast foods.
Mm. Okay.
Those will really.
Um, Obviously, with this industry and this machinery behind food production here, and one day FDA says, "Oh, butter is not good for you and have margarine," and then the next day they're like, "Oh, margarine is terrible for you, have butter," and all that kind of stuff. So there's so many myths, there's so much misinformation between the link between nutrition and cancer. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So you know there's a lot of confusion.
Mm.
There's, for sure, like you mentioned, today they say, okay, this is good. Tomorrow they're like, this is good, and you're like, okay, so what do I do? Today all of a sudden a research has come that is saying, okay, consume this. So with respect to research, very important that you go to authentic sources. You see how, like, in my PhD, a major part of what we did is how to read the research, actually how to critically analyze and evaluate
Wow.
the research, because it can be very biased.
Okay.
There will be a lot of confounding factors because of which, and you see that and you're like, that's why you got this result, right? So you need to learn. And if you if you are a little bit savvy and you read research and you feel confident that, yeah, what I'm reading doesn't have a lot of confounding factors, but
Mhm.
you may not, if you are not taught, you may not be able to find those subtle things,
Mhm.
right? So then going to people who are expert in this field will definitely help you. But yeah, there is a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
Let's say this right outright. So the myths, one of the biggest myth I would tell you, um, people are like, sugar is going to feed
Your cancer.
cancer. So then they stop consuming the complex carbs, which is actually good for us,
Mm.
right? It's good for our brain, good for the functioning of our body. So your quinoa has nothing to do with your cancer,
Mhm.
right? Or your starchy vegetable has nothing. You actually need complex carbs to function.
Mhm.
So there is, like, because it's out there that sugar and carbs is all sugar,
Mhm.
you have to understand the subtleties,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So that will be one of the biggest myth I would tell you, that don't deprive yourself from healthy, nutritious food.
Mhm.
Definitely the quick form of sugar, white sugar, sweeteners, processed foods should
No.
be out.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
How about intermittent fasting?
Fasting has a healing mechanism, deeper healing mechanism.
Mhm.
So fasting is excellent for all chronic conditions. Now, fasting may not be good for some people, and it depends on, the conditions that you have and what's going on with your body. So I have literally stopped some of my clients, or I tell them, you cannot fast.
Mm.
Fasting is not for you.
Okay.
Okay. But in general, I would say, in general, 90% fasting is excellent.
Mhm.
It taps into the processes in our body, which takes us toward repair, healing. All right. So at 18 to 20 hours, if you're fasting, water fast, you can have your supplements, you can have coffee, but you're not eating anything. You basically start the mechanism of, cells actually repairing and getting rid of extra cells that body doesn't need, because the
Mm.
body has to become so efficient that it wants to get rid of those extra cells, which are your cancerous cells.
Mhm.
You see, just the very process of fasting,
Okay.
because body is not getting nutrients, right? So it has to become efficient, and it has to get rid of junk,
Mm. Wow.
and that's how it helps with cancer.
Yeah. And in the last segment, you talked a lot about this
Yes.
as well.
Mhm.
So we're in conversation with Dr. Nilofer Basaria, our health and wellness coach. We're talking about the link between cancer and nutrition. You can follow Dr. Basaria on her Instagram handle, Dr. Basaria. And you can call her for a free consultation, 469 645 8681. She has helped many, many women. And she does these sessions over Zoom. So you are actually able to connect with her in any part of the United States and Canada. And she's helping many, many women who refuse to leave her even after the 6 months program is over. Like, we're not going anywhere, you're not going anywhere. Because she really provides such excellent, excellent help in getting your life back in order and getting on the path to being healthy. We're going to continue with this segment, and we'll be taking your questions as well. Stay with us on radio.